रास्ते लंबे हैं, मंजिल दूर है, मगर हर पल जीना ही सफ़र का नूर है। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं हूँ डॉक्टर प्लूटो, नए सफ़र और नए कहानियों की खोज में, जिसे आप आस्था भी कह सकते हैं। तो बी हैप्पी इन द नाउ बुक सीरीज़ के चैप्टर 8 तक हम फिनिश कर चुके हैं और अब बारी है चैप्टर 9 की। तो चलिए बिना किसी देरी के शुरू करते हैं। चैप्टर 9, ओवरकमिंग द इग्नोरेंस। Why do we suffer in life? Do you know? Why does our stress and anxiety grow? Because we jump to the future from the past. The joy that is ours just doesn't last. Why is it that people lose the present moment of joy? Although it is very easy, why do we people let the present moment of joy escape and exchange it for fear of tomorrow? It is our own ignorance. Why do we suffer? If we analyze, the main cause of our suffering is fear of the future and inability to accept the past. Of course, human beings experience both pleasure and pain. It is a part of life. Sometimes we become glad and sometimes sad. Just as there is sunshine and rain, loss and gain. This is a part of life. We must learn to accept it joyously. When we do not accept whatever happens and we curse it, nurse it, and rehearse it, we magnify the sorrow 100 times. If we watch a television channel that is covering a terrorist attack where 2 people die, we will actually think that 200 people have died because the cameraman has the art and the video editors have the goal to keep viewers engaged with different angles of the same scene. They repeat the incident again and again till we are brainwashed. Our mind is no different. It takes one tragedy of our life and replays it 100 times. What we don't realize is that each moment it is replaying the misery, it is stealing away the present moment of joy. Either the mind drags us into the sordid past or pushes us into the future and makes us fearful. The mind makes us suffer again and again, enveloping us in a shadow of ignorance. We live in ignorance. Unfortunately, most of us live in ignorance and lose moment of joy. Instead of activating our intellect, the faculty of discrimination that can use the power of the will to live in the present moment, we permit the mind to take charge of our life. We are all gifted with an intellect to discriminate the myth from the truth. If we put our intellect in a charge of our mind, then the intellect ties down the mind and stop it from jumping into the past and future. The only way to overcome ignorance and enjoy the present moment is to sharpen our intellect and make it the commander of our life. If we do not make the intellect take charge, we will live and die in the ignorance and our life will be full of misery and sorrow. The intellect is our tool to help us realize the truth and be in the now with joy and peace. The past doesn't exist. Think about it. We can go to New York, Paris, or Hong Kong. They exist. But can we go back to yesterday, last week, or last year? We can't. Still, we go because our mind blankets us in ignorance and we regret what happened yesterday, crying about our heartbreak last week, or mulling over our business loss of the last year. These incidents are over. They are past, gone, and finished. We can do nothing about them, but we can foolishly spoil the present moment by thinking about them. Yes, we can use our intellect to fall in love again, only this time more intelligently. We can start a new business with careful planning, but it makes no sense in regretting the past. We can use the present moment to learn a lesson or two, but living in the days gone by is foolish, for it steals the present moment of joy. Etch this out in stone and in your heart and mind. The past doesn't exist. It makes no sense living in the past. The future is a myth. If you really want to be happy, analyze the future. Does it exist? We worry so much about tomorrow's exam. We fear a legal notice for a case that is coming up next week in the court, and we are anxious about payments that we have to make in the coming year. These anxieties, fears, and worry steal our happiness. No doubt they are concerns, and we must address them when they arrive. We may need to meet the lawyer today, reply to an email tomorrow, or meet somebody to sort out an issue after 4 days. But constantly living with anxiety steals our present joy. We must use our intelligence to realize that if something is going to happen, it will happen. We can do nothing about it, but by worrying about it, we only become anxious and lose our ability to plan. Don't we know that we are capable of doing only one thing at a time, planning or worrying? If we have a cheerful and positive attitude, we can be peaceful and plan better. But if we let anxiety rule, then we will be stress emitting poison that steals our peace and happiness. Finally, whatever will be, will be. We must do our best. Is not it foolish to lose our present moment of joy for a possible future disaster? From their own personal experiences, people realized that they used to worry about so many things. Then they discovered that their fears were far more numerous than actual dangers. The real disasters were very few, but the fears and anxiety were plenty. It's better to stop living with fear, and life will be so much more peaceful. One should not become indifferent to the negative situations that lurk in the future, but put them in proper perspective. We should keep on reminding ourselves of a situation wherein we carry a teeny pebble in our hand and have a look at it from a certain distance. We notice that the pebble appears very small, but if we take it very close to our eye, it gets magnified and appears to be humongous. So we must stop doing this with our problems and decide to use our intellect to live peacefully in the present moment. The future is a myth. It doesn't exist. We must learn to let each day come as it comes. We should learn to live with faith and courage. Sometimes a beautiful prayer helps. Lord, help me to remember today that nothing will happen tomorrow that you and I can't handle together. What is time? Time is the distance between two moments. We are used to looking at time on a clock and talk of minutes, seconds, and hours. But if you really see, time is just a unit of measurement between the moment that is and the moment that has just gone by. Unfortunately, because we live in ignorance, we are busy trying to calculate time, and soon our time in this world is over. We forget to live every moment joyously. In reality, what time do we possess? Now, this moment, not even today. Is there any guarantee that we will have the whole of today? Still, we plan for next decade when we are not sure we will see tomorrow. The only thing that belongs to us is now, this moment, and because we have got so jabbed by the concept of time, we ignorantly behave like we are the master of it. Those who live joyously live life moment by moment, knowing that time is nothing but a log of events. In reality, neither does yesterday exist nor does tomorrow. In fact, time doesn't exist, only the present moment does. Enjoy it. Overcome the ignorance. Our biggest challenge is to be happy and to overcome the ignorance we live with. We are all trying to be happy tomorrow, but we can't. We can only be happy now, and we are losing our happiness to a tragedy of the past, which is absolutely foolish. Our challenge is to overcome the ignorance and stop living in yesterday and tomorrow. Our challenge is to have the wisdom to live in this moment in tranquility and peace, dancing with joy. As long as ignorance dominates our minds, we will be miserable. But if our intellect is strong enough to overcome the ignorance, our life will be full of peace and happiness. It is very simple. There is no past and future. We ignorantly live in this illusion, which is actually myth. It is like a mirage in the desert that doesn't exist. It is not difficult to understand that we can't go to tomorrow, but we can go to the beach. The beach exists, but tomorrow is just an imagination of today that will come after this day is over. If we overcome the ignorance, we can be happy in the now, all the time, moment by moment. Be happy in the now. Don't you want to be happy? It's very easy. Be happy now. Find out what can truly make you happy and do that now. Stop your monkey mind from jumping to yesterday and tomorrow. Eliminate the fears and anxieties of the future, just like you wipe off the regrets of past. Live in the present moment, now with bliss and peace, enjoying life moment by moment. Fortunate is the one who overcomes ignorance and does not settle from the past to the future, from one misery to another. From misery to misery, don't settle in vain. In yesterday and tomorrow, what will you gain? If you live with ignorance, there will only be pain. Smile in the present moment, be it sun or rain. Summary of Chapter 9: Overcoming the Ignorance. Point number 1. Unfortunately, most of us live in ignorance and lose moment of joy. Point number 2. If we analyze, the main cause of our suffering is fear of the future and inability to accept the past. Point number 3. The mind drags us into the past and pushes us into the future and makes us fearful. Point number 4. The mind makes us suffer again and again, enveloping us in a shadow of ignorance. Point number 5. The only way to overcome ignorance and enjoy the present moment is to sharpen our intellect and make it the commander of our life. Point number 6. The intellect is our tool to help us realize the truth and be in the now with joy and peace. Point number 7. Our biggest challenge is to overcome the ignorance and stop living in yesterday and tomorrow. Point number 8. If we overcome ignorance, we can be happy in the now, all the time, moment by moment. और इसी के साथ हमारा चैप्टर 9 भी समाप्त होता है। हमारे साथ इस जर्नी में बने रहने के लिए हमें सब्सक्राइब करें और अगर आपको ये बुक पसंद आ रही हो तो प्लीज़ लाइक और शेयर करें। धन्यवाद। जय महाकाल।